Alright, Enduro round at Spa-Francorchamps today. A 1 hour, 45-minute race. And also dealing with significant pain from my braking foot because I have massive friction burns between my toes and underneath the very base of the toe in a couple of areas. All from ill-fitting shoes that I'm having to wear for work and a 17-flight stair climb on the first day. Oh boy. Oh, not happy. I mean, my Fitbit was happy because the step count was a fucking thing. But everything else was not good. I'm just going to let everyone kind of go out here and then get some clear air. So this is Spa-Francorchamps, of course. I did a lot of work with the setup, and it came to nothing because I'm just running the default setup because everything... It would help in like the specific areas I thought it would help with, but it would like backfire somewhere else, and it's always lovely. And that is Spa in a nutshell. And the default just ended up being the fastest. Like, it wasn't the fastest in any of the three sectors, but it was the fastest on a consistent basis. A lot of the lap is just going to be determined by how good do I get through Eau Rouge, though, really. And that's about it. We got one pit stop today. Pretty decent GT4 field. A couple of scary dudes like Tony Santa Clara and Liam Kurtner here with like next to no ballast, which is lovely. And we have to deal with that. So in the meantime, let's drop the fuel here. Let's say 4 per lap. So we want to run about 16 liters. And then just bump that up. So 16 and then it's like plus 2. Okay, so yeah. So 17 will be pretty much perfect. You know what? Make it 18. 17 might cause the engine to start chugging on the last lap. And we don't want that. There it is. It's like, where is my button for pit lane speed limiter? Christoph Verstappen's coming along. He'll probably catch us on the Camel Straight, and that'll be a pretty non-factor moment, if we're being completely honest. Take it easy through Eau Rouge this time. And we'll see what we can do as 4th quickest in practice behind the aforementioned Liam Curtin and Tony Santa Clara. That's why you don't flash your goddamn headlights. If you don't want to confuse the car ahead of you. Because flashing your headlights implies that you want me to move. But if you then almost go around me, then you don't need me to move. Anyways, that's my rant. I'm grumpy today. I'm in pain. There may be rants. Here we go. Clear track ahead of me, clear track behind me. Let's get this on. Also, as per usual, going to play with the traction control probably on the second run. See if I can find a sweet spot. Ugh. This turn here on the first run through is always a bit troublesome. GT3 is coming across the line. Ariel's a Tony, fastest so far. It'll probably be Christoph at the end of it, assuming I don't kill him again. Wayne Hutchison, 221. We're looking at probably low 230s for the GT4s, so surprisingly enough, only about less than 20 seconds between the GT3s and the GT4s. I'm used to the prototypes versus the GT4s, and the difference is a lot larger, obviously. But 15 seconds or so over the course of Spa is not really that much. Surprised, because I mean, there's a lot of like full throttle areas. Like, I mean, we're in one right now. I have to lift a little bit to keep it legal there. But you know, more or less flat through Blanchiment, of course, Eau Rouge, Camel Straight, Pouam, Alexander Saluko apparently ahead of me. Alexander was the third guy who beat me in practice. He's making great progress, former ESR Academy driver. I've got Bertrand Barriere behind me. Hopefully he doesn't catch me at Eau Rouge, because that'll be awkward. If he well, the other reason is, of course, if he catches me after Eau Rouge, it's just Camel Straight, which, head on through, please. There we go. Nice and clean. Now, don't get me wrong, the contact I have with Christoph, I bear a significant portion of that blame. But that's the problem when you frickin' flash your headlights. It's like, okay, so what do you want me to do? Something that I don't normally do. What would that be? This corner here, Ravage, is been a bizarrely inconsistent corner for me. Feels like I should be going down to second gear, but second gear is useless in this car almost. It's only really useful at the bus stop. So, I don't know. And La Source, which are incredibly hard turns. I don't mean like in terms of difficulty. I mean like La Source is a hard right-hand turn. And it's a hard right-hand, left-hand combo at the bus stop. Slowest parts on the track for sure. It's also about trying to find track limits here. I'm very uncertain where I am in Blanchiment. 1.3 seconds off the pace right now. Need to be within that. Because I was with about half second behind Tony in practice. So I definitely want to stay kind of in that area here in qualifying. Ah! See, that's illegal, but like, oh, where is the limit there? I don't think that was going to be a good lap anyways, but still. It would have given me something to compare to, which I don't have at the moment. So I should be able to do 233s, which will be faster than John Barker. Probably slower than Liam Curtin. I'm actually still not sure where that 233.262 came from, because I wonder if that was an illegal lap, maybe, because that was actually slightly faster than what I did in practice. I did a 0.37 in practice. 33.37, I should say. Ah! That's going to be the problem, is Eau Rouge and Blanchiment. With just getting legal lap times in. Should be able to qualify top 5, despite the fact that I have a fair amount of ballast compared to the other front runners, because we have a couple of very talented, not necessarily guest drivers, but part-timers, put it that way. Specifically Tony and Liam come to mind, and then a fast but somewhat lacking results guy like Alexander Saluko, who is getting the speed. And that's coming. It's just now he's got to put the whole race together.
I'm legitimately kind of tempted to treat people to give blue flag guys a taste of what they think they're coming up to, I guess, in a nutshell. Andrew D coming up behind me. Here. Go, go. I'm on a non-counter anyways. Awkward spot to catch. Like, the places you want to get caught as a GT4 here is obviously the Camel Straight. Very, very easy. Even through this section here, like from Stavelot to Blanchimont, pretty easy. The bus stop's not too hard to let someone through. Although the way some of the GT3s have been doing it is a little bit silly. They've been like going like super late braking into the bus stop to get past me. And just feels unneeded, I guess. Like, I'm gonna, you know, brake a little bit early and kind of let you take it, so just take your normal line. But you don't really want to get caught through some of the flowy stuff. Like, I think it's turn 13. Whatever's right before Stavelot is a bit awkward. Rivage, a little bit awkward. Which is why in the race I'll probably do a little bit of lifting down here on the Camel Straight if I have someone behind me. Get them clear nice and easy. Alright, we got through Eau Rouge without a problem this time. This will be the final lap of this set. 0.3 of a second off of pole. Which is not great because Sector 1 was my sector in practice. Sector 2 and 3, especially 3, are where I'm losing the time heavily. Because I think, to be honest, it's people are taking more advantage of the track limits through Blanchimont, Stavelot, and that, and that's costing me. Which is, when I say taking advantage, I don't mean like anything nefarious. I just mean they have found the full limit of the track, and I am a little hazy as to where it is still.
Twice in 2 laps, exactly the same place, someone's in my way.
Somebody not happy. I think that was Andrew D. Which could mean that someone got in his way at around, well, where I just went through. 1.3 off. That is not good. So, set of laps number 1. Not great. Let's keep this lap legal. Get through Blanchimont. Through the bus stop. Almost out of fuel. There we go. That was not bad, actually. 33.6 is not terrible. It's just that it looks like my fellow GT4s have picked up the pace a little bit. Alex Loeffler looking a lot quicker. Tony St. Clair, 4th place. All right, let's do it again. No changes this time because I don't think I have a fair comparative lap time right now. Where am I coming out here? Barker going through, Hutchison going through. All right, so I don't have to worry about catching them. I don't think. Maybe Barker. He's got a lot of ballast on his car. Although so do I, so you know, there's that. And he's within 0.2 of me. Sergio Mengual, Mauricio Delgado also have lap times. I think there's a couple more protos. There we go. Getting through getting a break in time for Lake Home on cold tires, very difficult. So, keep rolling here. Oh, Butler hasn't posted a lap time yet. That would be someone who is definitely missing. Age-old nemesis of mine. James Boutelier. Many battles. There is apparently 2 others as well, because there are 10 GT4s in the field today. At the moment. Alexander Saluko would be another one. Getting a little close to John. Wonder if I want to take it kind of easy through Blanchimont just to give us both room. Tires are well warmed up, so I can do that. We'll take it slow through Blanchimont, and that should let him get away. Turn 17, Blanchimont is next up. There, that should give him enough room. 3.5 seconds, about 4 seconds probably. Wait, he can not worry about me, and I don't have to worry about him. Oh, I gained a fair bit of them on him in the bus stop, it looks like, so interesting to know. Alright, good run through La Source. Like I said, I want to be very close to pole time through Eau Rouge. This was my strength in the practice session. That's a good run. Picked up almost 4/10. Put me probably about 1/10 off pole. Oh no, I am on pole. Okay.
You don't want to touch that curb, Richard.
I'll lose it through here though.
Oh, nicely done.
Too wide. Too wide into Ravage. Destroys my whole flow through there. I'm hoping to get Loeffler. Curtin and Santa Clara are just not in my league today. At least on a single lap. We'll see about, like, in the race. But on a single lap, they just... Whether it's the ballast or natural talent or whatever. The fact that I haven't found a really comfortable setup, whatever it is. They will have me. Bit of a better run there through Stavlo. But yeah, that second sector is currently the weak spot. Sector 1 is good. Sector 3 is also not great. Brake a little bit later than usual. And pick up a little bit. Nice. So a pretty good first sector, pretty decent second sector. And I'm within 1/10 of, or third sector I should say. Sector 2 is bad. And that puts me pretty much on what apparently is my best lap. Although I still don't know where that lap comes from. And within 1/10 of Alex Loeffler for third place on the grid. Which, if I could start on row 2, is pretty much a victory for this qualifying session, because I don't think I can keep with I can't live with Curtin and Santa Clara on single lap pace. That is For sure. So if I can beat the likes of Barker or Loeffler and Saluko, I'll be pretty happy. Butler probably in that mix too. So still no lap time from Saluko. Nothing from Butler either. Not sure who the other two GT4s that haven't posted a lap time are. I don't think I've seen anybody else. Luciano Chazzo back. Butler off the track. So I'll have one more lap after this of fuel. Depending on how it goes, I might play with the traction control, because it's the only thing that I think really I have any pace to grab out of is. Because I have done my my fastest lap of the server, anyways. Again, I still don't know where that 262 is coming from. But I was very close to Tony Santa Clara in qualifying, or in practice, so he must have been doing, like, race pace laps. And is now really cracking out the whip. Because he was a second behind Curtin. Curtin's at about the same pace he was in practice. I think he was like 1.5 ahead of me. So, a little faster. Maybe 2/3. Got Saluko behind me. That is James Butler ahead of me. Both of them are probably getting a little bit desperate. Still a fair amount of time left, but we'll see. Bad run through Eau Rouge, though, losing time. Although it is Sector 2 and Sector 3 where I think there's a lot of time to be earned. I think the Sector 1 I have up there is probably about as fast as I'm getting. It is no longer the fastest. It's about 2/10 off of Tony Santa Clara, apparently. So, I mean, I said a lot of this would depend on the Eau Rouge run. I've got a good Eau Rouge run and not necessarily a good lap time. There we go. Much better through the section there with Ravage. Into Pouillon. Or Pouhon. I've heard it pronounced with the Y sound, and I don't know why that sticks in my head. Because I feel like that was definitely wrong, and I just can't get it out of my head. Into Franges. Good run through there. Up about 3/10 at the moment. Dropping a little there. Turn 13, and then into Stavlo. Lost some time. Got some good run through Stavlo, though. And that is a new best in Sector 2. Might be able to get me past Loeffler. With a good third sector. Ah! That's going to invalidate it. Alright. Let's hit the pit lane. Do a practice here, so up to third, down to second. Perfect. Okay. Alrighty. So that second sector is what is currently absolutely kicking my ass. 12.8. What is the pull? What is Tony doing there? Yeah, 1.2 seconds. Wow. Sector 1 and Sector 3 are actually pretty competitive, but I have nothing for at least Tony in Sector 2. And probably not Liam. Josiah Jerome in the Audi going past. Very BMW dominated field, by the way. Both in GT3 and GT4. GT4 is kind of always like that. But oh, we have a lot of time from Butler. He's up to 6th. Again, the goal is to get past Loeffler if I can, and then figure out where I am in relation to if he ever gets a lap time in Alex Saluka. And if you hear me during the race crying out in pain in the braking zones, that would be the fact that my foot is not happy. It's basically what I've done is I've got a bunch of tissue, like Kleenex, in between my toes to hopefully protect the friction burns from one another. And we'll see how that goes. But I can even feel even the tissue paper is grinding a little bit against them, and it does hurt. We'll find out how this goes. My feet are terrible, for the record. If I've never ranted about them before, they're kind of oddly shaped, and they're also incredibly flat. So when I don't get like perfect shoes, they cause all kinds of problems. It is part of the reason I'm so goddamn slow when I run. People think it's the weight, but like, even when I was in good shape, I could not run worth a damn. My athletic abilities really involve like being able to use my size and strength. So, American football, rugby, wrestling, and to be honest, posting up in basketball underneath the ring. Despite not being very tall, I was very good at reading where rebounds were going, and dudes much larger than me found me very hard to move in the key. There was a dude at my high school who went on to have like a little bit of a basketball career. Went to Carleton University, which is the big basketball school in these parts at the time anyways. I don't know if it still is. And played in the Canadian Professional Basketball League for, a couple of years. He was like, I don't know, like 6.5 feet tall in like the 8th grade or whatever. And I would often end up getting to play him at recess and stuff, and he'd kick my ass absolutely, but he always
the
did
Porsche
say
being a Porsche there, James.
He always did say that I was one of the harder matchups.
You were on the director at that moment.
Because I just didn't let him push me around. So that was cool. Dark side is that meant I got matched up against like him and this other kid named Graham.
Yeah, I don't know why you lost traction there. This is bizarre.
Don't think actually did anything with his basketball skills, but the dude could freaking jump over me, and I was like 6 feet tall. It was slightly insane. Very, very athletic dude, who I went to school with from kindergarten onward. So that was always fun in any kind of schoolyard scenario. Mike, you're like almost as tall as him. You can totally guard it. No, I can't. That would be a negative. I'm not saying that I'm not the best choice for it, but don't expect me to succeed. I'm having a reasonable lap here. Invalidated it. I mean, I was like 2 seconds off, so like I'm not. It wasn't really going anywhere, but had a decent lap going there, despite my walk down memory lane. Probably invalid there through Blanchemont. I really cannot figure out the Blanchemont track limit, and I think that's costing me because, well, probably not that much because Sector 3 is not the problem zone. It's sector 2. So really what it is I need to figure out the track limits through Pouillon and Stavelot. And see if I'm losing any time through there. That is not John Barker ahead of me. That is Ayrton Tobin, I think. So I have noticed that my web HUD is not necessarily... it's missing cars or something? Not a good... maybe an okay run. Alright. We're closing. Got a good transition to the Camel. Only a 10th off of my best time. I don't know what Ayrton's doing there. He was letting off the gas. I don't know if he was trying to let me through, but like I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Although it does look like he's the only one that doesn't have a lap time, so that could be it. I've slipped to 5th as Alex has come in with a time that I probably can't beat. He's 9/10 up. Still could get Loeffler, though.
I probably have to change tires on this, right?
Yep, it's mandatory pit.
Uh-huh.
So you have to change either the 2 fronts or the 2 rear, whatever you want. But I do have a feeling you're gonna need fuel. I'm not sure with the GT4.
GT4s
no, I
will
probably
fuel.
should.
Our tanks are not big enough to go the full distance. Or, well, the BMWs isn't. I don't know about the other ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to update my HUD dash. It's showing me the wrong person ahead.
Mine's doing that too. It's been doing that a while. I just think it's having a hard time syncing up. Really late into the bus stop there. And it did not help me out. Damn it. I have enough for one more lap.
Have some fun, guys.
That was my best 3rd sector, at least. Got caught with a little bit of traffic there. Probably won't actually even finish the lap, but we're going to try. 5th on the grid is not the end of the world. It's a little worse than I wanted to do. But realistically, I think only 1 spot higher is really an option. Into Lake Home. That was my fastest 1st sector. Into Ravage. A lot of time's been lost here. I think that's No Name. Ah, I invalidated it. Alright. Probably wasn't going to get the lap time in anyways, but... Alright, so let's get the fuel in. Okay, 115 liters to start. Should need to take on less than 65, but I do have 65 as an option. Might not swap the rear tires. Tire wear doesn't appear to be a huge thing. But here we go. A podium is not impossible.
Oh, 2 purple sector for Josiah.
As
Bringing it home right now. Let's see.
As I have some livery ideas from Mista.
At the bus stop.
Justin Swan.
He's turning. Oh my god, it's gonna be close.
Christopher. Well, let's have a look at the grid. Verstappen and Josiah Jerome at the front, and at the front for GT4s it is Santa Clara and Liam Curtin. Then Saluko, Loeffler, me, Barker.
Oh, Mr. D, you have a good battle with Fran there. He's a good driver.
All right, what we got?
I lost my temper there.
We're good to go.
Not that I was angry at any driver, just bad timing every time.
It happens. Oh, I've lost my Discord overlay, which is a little disappointing.
All right, don't forget fuel.
And somehow it dropped to like 40 frames a second.
long
What's
race.
going on here?
It's called an Enduro.
Well,
Even
I
if
won't know who's
Samir's
talking
breaking
this
it, calling it you that you're breaking the car, just take it home and fix it. Oh,
Lost Ayrton.
Ooh.
Alright, here we go. 9 GT4s. So good points on offer, even if we run into trouble. Fuel gauge is telling me I'm going to need 67 liters. I doubt that that is the case. Because it has me... Oh. Got it stopped.
What happened there?
Oh. Ichazo. Little carnage. Came out of it in 4th place by the looks of it. We lost Richard DeRoche. That's got to be something serious. Richard's usually a good trooper. Alright, so behind Curtin, Saluko. So I got Loeffler, which was the, in theory, main battle. I might be able to outgrunt Liam Curtin here. See if he gives me the outside or the inside. I think Alex Loeffler will be up in my grill this whole race. I don't think I've had a good battle with him on recording before, so I'd say stream, but I'm not actually streaming this live because my internet would go to shit. Weird, I've lost my frame counter and I've lost my... Oh no, there it is. So that's only doing like 46 frames. Interesting. It does more with ACC than with Race Room. That's weird. Need to look into my settings. That's a GT3 motoring up. Fran Bachuka, who has been lost in the carnage. Now, it is a little confusing because there is an identical livery to that in the field. It is John Barker in the smaller BMW. But we'll let the franchise through. The Fran Club cheering him on, I'm sure. Fran Bachuka was like the only person during the times we did live recordings and live streams of some of these races with myself and Byron on commentary who had like an actual fan club. I'm gonna just back out of going side by side through Blanchimont with Liam Curtin right now. We'll go. This is a long race. We'll go. Discretion is the better part of it. Oh boy! Saluko and Curtin both outbreak themselves. And that's going to give me 2nd place. Although Loeffler did make up some ground as well as I went a little bit deep myself. Santa Clara must have had an illegal lap. Otherwise, he would have had fastest lap. Alright, 49.9 is currently the call. That is not going to be accurate either because that's factoring in a way too long of a lap. So it'll be this. It'll take a while before that fuel number settles down. At least the average usage is about right. I think it's a little lower than that. More like 0.1, 0.2. I think. At least based on the calculations I had during practice.
Crash.
So, Barker also got past Curtin and Saluko. So, as I overbraked for Pool. So I can't live with Tony, but a podium is podium would be nice. Tony's only got a whopping 2 kilos of ballast because I think he only showed up for 1 Enduro round so far this season. Oh, come on, Alex. I mean, paid the price, but it was a little rude. I'll have to see if I'm behind him at any point through there to see if maybe I am braking too much. But Sergio Mengual's already been in the pit lane, so one of my bigger rivals is not looking at a particularly good score. Oh. And I forgot to turn crew chief on once again. It's running in the background. I just forgot to hit start. So I don't have my crew chief. I do still have my web HUD. By the way, another fastest lap. What is with... Come on, Tony. Put up some legal laps, man. You're out there alone. There's no need to even push the limits. I feel like that's going to be one of those really large invalid lap counts from Tony today. We'll see. That's my prediction. I don't think he's had a legal one yet. That's not why he's winning, to be clear. Like, he's just fast, but...
The good old auto spin without any feel.
Oh, that was not a good
Going
run
from
through
lead
Le
to
Comte.
second last. Third last.
Lost 0.2 of a second. To myself. Kept about even with Barker. Oh, I see Steve Croslin is playing. Assetto Corsa Competizione. My New Zealander buddy. Wonder if I could get some of the old Presto crew. Been working on Josh Glassmaker and Tim Brooks to see if they'll come join our ACC fun. Neither of them ever really took to race room. Well, Josh did. He did a couple. He did I think 2 races with us. So Butler, by the way, put up the fastest lap. It's a good. That's actually quite a good second sector. 13.1. Very close to what I was doing in qualifying, I think. So that's good. And I know that last time through I did a really terrible job of the bus stop, so here we go. And it's better. There we go. Tony got a legal lap in. And that's a new race best for me of 54 or 34.1. I'd like to get into the 33s. For the end of this. Curtin is back in 4th place. Saluko 5th. They're quite a ways back. Barker and Butler are my other concerns. Loeffler's back in 8th. That's surprising. He did hit me in the back and paid the price. That's my spiky butt got him. Otherwise, it's been an incident-free run for me, although not for everyone else. I think that Steward Jack Holmviksen will have some work today from this race. pretty clean lately. I think there was only one reported incident for Red Bull Ring in the multi-class series, and I think we actually had an entirely penalty-free Shanghai, which was quite surprising. Didn't get up to 5th gear there, which is a bit weird. I am driving away from Barker. Curtin is catching me a little bit. Haven't really been paying attention to my gap to Alex. Curtin, I don't honestly think I can beat. I just think that him and Tony are in an absolute league of their own today. Just a combination of two really fast drivers not being given a lot of ballast. That's why I actually don't really like the ballast system of like championship position based ballast, because the way our Saturday series has gone, and this is disappointing, is that there's only been a couple people who have been like pretty regular at actually showing up. You know what's been screwing me up here through the bus stop is actually there's a shadow where there wasn't one before, and it's screwing up my braking marker. But anyways, what I was saying. There's only been a couple of guys who have like real. Oh, John Parker had a problem. He's fallen way back. Oh no. Oh no, because that means Liam Curtin is now in 4th place. And oh no, because I like John Parker and want to see him do good. But what I'm getting at is that, like, with the way our Saturday series have gone, there's just been not enough consistent attendance. And what we've ended up doing is just punishing anyone who's actually been here, because the fields have been really small and you've been picking up big points just by sticking around and finishing. Like, for example, in the ESR multi-class, I'm in 2nd place. I have a podium. Well, 2 podiums, but they came in the short, like, kind of sprinty races. The 20-minute number 2s, basically. And as a result, like, despite not having in any way championship contending pace, I'm in 2nd place and accordingly am ballasted to all heck. And it's not terribly different here in the Enduro, where I've not been a championship contender, but I've got like 20 plus kilos of ballast because based on attendance I've been here, and that's what I don't like. It's actually kind of the Caleb Gonzalez rule for ESR, where I had this in 3D speed, as Caleb would show up once in a blue moon, be lightning quick, then he would miss like 3 rounds in a row, so the fact that he won and dominated the one round he competed in didn't matter, because, you know, he was down like 12th in the standings or something, and he'd have no ballast, and he would show up and he would dominate again. And thus the ballast wasn't doing, you know, kind of what it's supposed to do, which is equalize the field a little bit. But you'd have super fast guys with no ballast. Kind of have the same thing here. That's why in 3D speed with race room, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it in ACC because the ballast is a little bit more annoying. What I'm getting at is it became like how fast you were as opposed to your results. And yeah, sure, the guys at the top of the standings tended to have ballast, but it was based on how like potentially dominant you were versus maximizing results. And it kept dudes who were like very part-time from showing up and dominating. Saluko is now in 3rd, so nobody seems to want 3rd place, because it looks like, to me anyways, that Liam Curtin's had a problem and he's drifted back 9 seconds back. So, I mean, don't look a good gift horse in the mouth, but it does mean I'm kind of in for a little bit of a boring run here, it seems. I can't live with Tony. Like, he's slowly pulling away and being gone. Like, I can make some ground up here in Sector 1, but, like, he just dominates me in Sector 2. And then Sector 3 tends to go to him as well. And without somebody, one of you guys being like, no, you're doing this wrong. Like, I just don't know how to catch him, really. I've got a more or less accurate look at the fuel now, I think. And I'll need 58, which means I'm a little high. I'll probably shave it down to about 62 liters at the pit stop, I think. I always do want to have one extra lap just in case. Just in case we end up with an oh shit lap. Alex Saluko catching up with me a little bit. Liam Curtin catching up with me a little bit. Might be something. But they both have had some mistakes in the process. Whereas, knock on wood. There we go. Knocked on actual wood. I have not made a serious mistake yet. There's been some mistakes that have cost, like, time, but there's been drive-through penalty for Sergio Mengual. Oh, well, there's my first track cut. It will not be the only one. Drive-through penalty for Sergio, and it looks like he's calling it a day. I can't say that I blame him, but at the same time, like, he was guaranteed 9th place. That was the best third sector of any GT4 until someone just beat it. But it was also illegal. So I went a little bit too wide at Blanchimont. Like I said, figuring out where the exact track limits for Eau Rouge, Blanchimont, Stavelot, Pouillon, very key to actually getting a good lap, and I don't know if I really have. By the way, there's a good battle going on for second place right now between Andrew D and a McLaren, which I assume is Bertrand Barrier, who has been showing up a lot more lately, both in terms of attendance and results. As I made a silly track cut there. Liam Curtin has dropped back again, and it's now Butler up into 4th. I am losing ground and then gaining it back with Sluko, so he's kind of seemingly stuck about 7 to 8 seconds back. Depending on where I look. I was catching up a little bit with Tony Santaclaro, but whatever was facilitating that has seemingly come to an end. And he's got it back out to over 10 seconds. Waiting for the pit window to open. As per usual, look at probably about a halfway point for a pit stop. Maybe a little bit longer, depending on how the tires look. Tires look pretty good right now. 83% on the fronts, 87% on the rears. That being said, only about 20 minutes in, so that's only about 1/7 distance. So I'm not sure if any of those tires could last to the end. What do we do this time around? 234.4. I'd like to be running 233s right now. Maybe even 232s at the end of the race if I go for a later pit stop where the tires are nice and fresh. For the last little bit, with low fuel. Liam Curtin's troubles are really working out to my advantage, because if I'm to be honest, he's the guy behind me that I'm really worried about, and it has spotted me a 20-second lead over him. Because I honestly took it for granted that Tony and him would be 1-2. and that the battle was on for 3rd place. I had a really bad run here in the multi-class invitational in the same car. Finished like, I think like lowest I've finished in that entire series, 8th place. Although, admittedly, that was also because there were a lot of cars. And there has not been for a lot of the other ones. It's been kind of show up and get a top 6 or so. Get a little wide there, Pouillon. And Saluko is putting pedal to the metal to try to catch up. He's got that gap fluttering now more between like 6.5 and 7 seconds than 7 and 8 seconds as it was earlier. Tony Santa Clara pulling away. Again, not really worried about that gap though. I just am not his rival. And he's not attended enough to be a championship factor, really. As we're kind of coming down to the end here. This is also the final Enduro race before this series gets added to the ESR index rating chart. Although, it won't affect mine because it's only the upper class that gets this one because it's really hard to get a reference to platinum drivers when there are no platinum drivers in your class. Chazo in early. So that's got to be for some damage. I saw him have contact with one of the GT4s. So, I wonder if that maybe is what the deal is. I've managed to get a little more breathing room to Alexander Go as I give the wall a kiss there for, you know, no reason. The expected fuel usage is up. Looks like maybe it's giving me an extra lap because my pace has been a little better. Well, back to 8 seconds ahead of Alex Zander. I mean, on one hand, it's an absolute shame that this race is kind of just me hot lapping in 2nd place, but at the same time, I'm not going to slow down and let the fight deliver. Chazo's still in the pit lane. Excitement will come when the blue flags come out, of course. When the GT's 3s make their way through.
Thank you, John.
Which is
Welcome,
apparently
Bob.
happening already. Martin apparently just lapped... oh, there it is.
That was a crazy spot.
Caleb Gonzalez is up on the tail. Actually, I guess I'm going to guess Caleb is the McLaren. Orange McLaren that I saw over on my... my other PC, which is recording the race for the commentary crew of myself and Byron. Or whoever ends up to do it. 3 more minutes on... I really need to find a better... a better braking point for the bus stop. The one I was using is... useless right now. Mostly because I can't really see it now. That was the first time I really botched it, but it's been botched a couple times, and that would have brought Saluko a lot closer, but it looks like he lost some time under the blue flags, which hopefully I can lose less. They're not on me at Lake Holm or at the Camel Strait, though. Which is, of course, where I'd ideally like to deal with the blue flags. There's a couple other spots, though, that we can deal. into Lake Home. It is Caleb in the McLaren today. I'll leave the inside open for Rivage. I tend to end up getting put on the outside anyways. And should be able to let Christoph and Andrew D here through in the straight lead up to Pouillon and then Pouillon itself. Did lose a little bit of time on Andrew D though. But I think taking the turn normally would have for sure been considered a blocking, a resisting maneuver. So Josiah Jerome next. Is Audi coming up? And this is an ideal spot to let him through. There, that's a better, smoother run through. There, Ariel Zatoni. Is he gonna... I'll leave the outside open for you. There you go. Pit window is open for an hour, so plenty of time. I'm not pondering a pit stop anytime soon. This was an hour and 45 minutes race time, so I'll want to get down to probably about 45 minutes left, to be honest. Gap has grown to Saluco. Flag coming up for Max Simmons, Martin Evans in a fight as usual, and the franchise. I'll again give the inside line at Rivage. And I'll throw a little break on there, let Fran through as well. Just because that could have got ugly. Barrier is next. How many? We got 12.
Thank you, Mike.
Today. No problem. It's a very unimaginative car from Barrier. I usually really like his colors too. He just goes with a standard white, blue, and red BMW. I mean, not that there is much in the way. Well, no, actually, I take that back. There's a lot of cool BMWs. There's the PlayStation one that's really, really cool. Probably somebody's running that, though. I think Andrew D's got it. So that might be the problem. But there's like the waste disposal Australian car. There's a lot of cool ones. So I'm a little disappointed. There's the angry red one that Travis Wallace runs because I chose it for him. A lot of faces missing today. No Travis Wallace, no Sean Kinney. Ooh, yellow flag. I have the Ford of Fumihiro Kobayashi, which is such a bad idea to run that car. That car is not competitive. Oh no. I'm gonna lift. I know, I'm a chicken for lifting into Eau Rouge, but I have not developed remotely the comfort with Kobayashi to run side by side through Eau Rouge. I don't have it. I don't think he's like a bad driver or anything, but I've seen some things and some stuff. He's a bit aggressive, and he was definitely not going to follow me through Eau Rouge. He was definitely going to force that into an issue, and discretion is the better part of valor, although that has cost me some time, and Sluco is now within 8 seconds of me again. Liam Curtin is 18 back. Another Academy driver. A lot of Academy drivers behind me, actually. Butler's also Academy. So, the people I tried to help make better drivers are trying to thank me by coming up and taking my spot. So I'm, of course, now 20 plus seconds behind Tony Santa Clara. Laps in, we'll hit about the halfway point at 21 apparently, which does sound a lot like my calculations. The right front is now in the yellow, and I think it's going to be a 4-tire swap. I think the backs could last the full race without having any like massive problems, but they'll for sure be pretty yellow by the time I'm looking at a pit stop, right? Probably. I mean, they've lost 22 and 20%. I still have about halfway to go, so yeah, they'll be down to like 60-ish when I think about pitting. So pace should drop off a little bit, with the fronts starting to lose grip. Might have to lift a bit more through Eau Rouge, that kind of thing. Also, not gonna lie, the foot is part of the problem. I can see that it is bleeding. I've got my phone looking at my feet. Some really kinky stuff going on today at Spa-Francorchamps. And I can see that the tissue paper between the little toe on my left foot and the toe next to it has turned a little bit red. So it is bleeding from the friction burn. Wayne Hutchison coming up. Your blue flag scenario. I think we can take Pouron, though, before that becomes a real problem. And he should take us right there. Brake a little early, just to let him through. Losing a lot of ground to Sluco right now. He's got it back down below 7 seconds again. Wonder if he's taking better care of his tires. I do have a fair amount of ballast, something like 20 plus kilos, which I've noticed is not necessarily slowing me down particularly, but I do believe from my observations that what it does do is accelerate the tire wear. Something that didn't come up in the Academy when we were trying to work out BMW 235i ballast, because they were only 15-minute races. But in these longer races, I think that it is a bigger thing. Not pace, but well, effectively pace, but not necessarily that it's slowing you down on a lap-to-lap basis, but that it is accelerating the tire wear. I can see both fronts are now yellow. Losing, not hand over fist or anything, but Curtin's coming. That's expected, but Alex is coming as well. I'll keep an eye on my gap back to Butler and Barker as well. So that's going to be a little bit off the track at Eau Rouge. Keeping with Tony though, so it cannot be that bad. It could just be that Alex has found a good little bit of pace. Because it looks like he's holding Liam more or less off, so... And I know Alex has one lap pace around here for sure. The question is, can he put a race together? So he may just be in the zone here for the last 2 laps or so. And making the absolute most of what he does have. That's going to feel like a more and more third gear corner, I think. I've seen some people take franges in 4th gear, but oh, lost Alex Loeffler. Oh, Alex! That's terrible. Don't have to worry about blue flags for a while. These with just 8 GT4s left. And it looks like Sluco made a mistake. And has dropped back into a fight with Liam Curtin, and that's probably better for me on 2 levels. Number 1, it takes... it gives me breathing room to Alex, obviously, but it also means that Liam might have to fight somebody, which is what I kind of want. Because if Liam is allowed to just hot lap, he's going to catch me. I need him to be, like, in a hard fight a couple times. Now, admittedly, I kind of, you know, would have had that if he had caught Alex later down the road. As I... going to try to adjust myself in the chair here because my ass is starting to bug me in addition to my foot. With an hour to go, this is great. Whoa. Oh shit, that's terrible. Okay, well, I may have just ruined it. Luckily, we are in the pit window. We can get in, but it's a 109-second pit stop to fix the suspension. All that for one mistake at Lake Home. Oh, man. It's a little bit weird because it wasn't this bad in practice and qualifying. Well... I was talking about how this race was turning into kind of a boring affair. It'll be anything but boring now. I'm going to have to let some tires go a really, really long distance. And, man, the fuel's even going to be kind of tight. 65 liters plus 53. Where is that in terms of a full tank? 110, 118. Okay, should be okay. I need to get it down to 50 liters by the pit stop. I don't think I'm gonna get that. Oh boy. So we're probably gonna be looking at a splash and dash towards the end. Into the pits I go. This is way earlier than I wanted to pit. Alright. Pit limiter in. Alright, we might have to... This may turn into a two-stopper, to be honest, with just a splash and dash at the end. Alright, so long pit stop because we gotta fix the suspension. Hopefully the suspension is largely fixable because... Oh, that is going to suck. That is going to suck. So Barker has passed us. Curtin has passed us. Saluka's passed us. Butler will pass us easily. We'll easily get passed by Mauricio Delgado as well. So I'm coming out in last place. Alright, they're fixing the suspension. Please tell me that that at least gets to, like, yellow. Because if the suspension can't really be fixed... I am in some hard trouble. It was all for a moment of concentration lost at Lake Home. Alright, so it's just the suspension left. Got new tires. Got the fuel. We're 115. Look, according to the calculations, I am good to go to the end. We hope. To be honest, I don't know if the tires will be, though. So, I mean, we were like 40 minutes in. And the tires were already kind of in there, past their best before date. As I hear the guys still banging around back there trying to get the suspension repaired. It's in the right rear, I think. Alright. Okay, well, the tires will make it, because apparently we didn't estimate 24 laps of life left. We only got 26 to go, so it should work. Alright, here we go. We're way behind. But everyone does have a pit stop to make, so that is working in my favor. But I need some good laps. Let's come out a full lap behind Tony Sinclair. Ironically, coming out behind the leader where I was. But it is a full lap behind. So, on the bright side, suspension is fully fixed. So, I'm looking at the gap to Mauricio Delgado. 45 seconds. It is closing rapidly. Makes me think he's off the road somewhere. Or has made a major mistake. We'll find out. But I need that gap to close really quickly. I need to, despite the fact that I'm heavy on fuel, need to get out here and just like blitz it. Put some really good laps down. Make people think about it. And I might be able to get back on the podium. And of course I can always hope for, like, you know, someone else to make a similar mistake. That'd be nice. There has been a lot of mistakes by both Saluko and by Curtin, so I mean that is kind of the hope. I am really catching up to Mauricio Delgado though. Makes me think that he's got something wrong with his car, and maybe needs to think about making a pit stop of his own. I need like nothing but 232 laps right now. They need to be the best. So apparently I can go to the end on this pit stop, on this set of tires. But they are going to drop off something fierce. I'll have to think about it when it comes time. Do I want to go for a two-stopper? Or is it a one-stopper still for me? No more screwing up at Lake Home, that is for sure. Wayne Hutchison pitting, so he's possibly in the same spot as me. That lap time, of course, is non-reflective of what I can do. I do know that I went from over 40 seconds up behind Mauricio Delgado to 27th, though, so I mean, that's impressive. Catching Butler as well, and Barker. Oh, no, 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 not again. Wonder how many incidents I have to go. Something I wish the HUD would tell you a little bit more. Don't care how many I've used, it's how many I have left. I'm going to be so pissed off if I go from that solid result I had going there to another terrible Spa run. Spa and I have been having this weird relationship. I have the ACC race last season here where it was looking great, and then it went to absolute shit at the end. I had the multi-class race here in the GT4s, which actually was looking pretty decent, and then went to shit. And here it's gone to shit again, and this time it is no one's fault but my own. Delgado might be in the pit lane, I'm thinking. Alright, first lap where we actually have a decent lap time. It was an illegal lap, but I think if anything it cost me time. Oh, Delgado is not in the pits. He's just made another mistake, I think. 250, yeah, 235. So, despite the air quotes track cut, actually lost time. Although gaining time on Barker, so he may have made a slight mistake, and also gaining time on Mauricio Delgado. But Delgado has not been on the pace today, so that is not terribly important. I mean, I do want to be gaining time on him, but that's not the end game. With him being six and a half seconds ahead of me, he's not someone I'm competing with for position. This is a temporary thing until he pits. Whereas I am not sure I will overtake anyone else with the pit stop, because my pit stop was very, very long. It was 109 seconds to fix suspension damage, as well as refuel and take tires, and I also didn't get to max out my first tire set, so there's a lot of questions in terms of pace here. Right now I am faster than anyone that particularly matters. I think I'm probably slower than Tony Santa Clara, but he is in a league of his own. Even he's not too far ahead. That is Delgado now officially ahead of me. I can see who I'm chasing. I'm not doing great laps, though. This is the problem. Like, I'm looking at that time delta on my steering wheel there, and I cannot be doing like +6, +7 tenths of a second. Like, this has got to be like +2, +3, new fastest lap sort of deal right now. This is where I have the most theoretical pace advantage. If somebody is very off, it is Mauricio Delgado. So that's a position to me. Going a bit deep here into bus stop. That's another terrible lap. Alright, so 146 behind Curtin, 141 behind Barker, 135 behind Butler. Those gaps need to close, because I am not in pit window to them. I mean, I am if it takes them as long as it took me to pit, but it probably won't. Not even terribly worried about the track cuts right now, as long as it doesn't end up with me being disqualified. Luciano Ichazo, go around, thank you. Catching up to everybody, but I mean, it's got to be better. It's got to be better. I have a lot of time to make up for the pit stop, and possibly even... Oh, Saluko's back here now. Alright, so he's had problems, or is in the pit lane. If they're pitting now, that probably is good for me, because it means that my tires shouldn't be too much worse, because I wouldn't have been looking at pitting now. I would have been looking at pitting at like 10 more minutes. Had things, you know, not forced my hand. I'm not really sure what that plus a lap thing is. That's a little confusing me right now. Mauricio Delgado's been in and out of the pit lane. Not really important for my race. So Saluko, I hope, didn't pit, because if so, I am so boned. And that's the problem right there. 2:34.3. I need to be faster. Chambarier has served his pit stop. I can't see him on the table there, so that's what's bugging me. I need to know, did Saluko pit or did he make a mistake? Because if he pitted and I'm still a minute behind him, that is going to be all kinds of problems for me right now. Martin Edmonds in the pits, Fran Bachuka in the pits, race leader Christoph Verstreppen coming up behind me. I'll let you pass after Lake Home, Christoph. There. Kinda owed him one for the practice thing being so bad. Although I still say that was partially his fault because he flashed his goddamn headlights. I'm anti-headlight because it confuses people. It confuses me, even. Like, because what does it mean? What, you want me to get out of your way? Or does that mean you're coming around me? Because clearly I didn't know what it was, because he wasn't moving to the side. He was staying directly behind me, so I started moving, and then he started moving. And then things became terrible. As Andrew D comes up to me. I will leave him the inside there. Through Frages. Alright, so my lap time here is going to suck, which is fine. Although this is all for naught if I am in fact a pit stop behind, or a full minute behind Saluko, who's pitted. Because if that's the case, I'm screwed. Like, I know I'm behind everybody, but like if it's a minute, it's gonna make me feel like I just shouldn't have shown up today and dealt with the pain that I've got in my foot right now. I could have relaxed, done some Super Mega Baseball practice, done some commentary maybe for this race. because it looks like there's a thrilling battle going on for the win in GT3. A three-way fight between Christoph Verstappen, Andrew D, and Caleb Gonzalez. Looks like there's a pretty good fight going on between Ariel Zatoni and Josiah Jerome. Looking forward to that on camera. And I might just be absolutely screwed. Let Josiah through there. Bit awkward there. Cost me some time. I'm catching Saluko fast enough that makes me hope that he's still on old tires. And that he hasn't, in fact, pitted. Wayne Hutchison looks like he's got a little bit of damage. That explains his early pit stop. I'm really hoping Saluko is not pitted, because if that's the gap I'm looking at for pit stops, it's just, it's over. It's going to be 6th place. And I'll take 6th place points, but that's going to be painful. If that ends up being the case, I'll probably go on to a 2-stop strategy and just try and have some fun with putting up good laps at the end, maybe. Oh, Mauricio's gone. He's behind me anyway, so it's not a problem. That's no help. Just guarantees me a top 6. Problem is am I actually? Oh, well. Tony Santa Clara is into the pit lane, it looks like. Bunch of GT3s popping in right now. This is about when I was thinking about the pit stop. I think I was going to go a little bit later than this, but it would have depended on how the tires were doing. Can't be mad at anyone but myself. It was a completely unforced error at Lake Home. Barker's in the pits. And then to make matters worse, I've not really delivered after the pit stop, to be honest. Had a chance there where I should have been pretty quick, and I wasn't. Honestly, still should be in that phase. I'm not. Head's not in the game.
Whew.
Yeah, it's man, this sucks. This is so disappointing because I know Barker is pitted and Saluko has pitted as well. And look at the gaps. 44 and 57 seconds. I mean, 45 minutes to go. It's a long time, but like short of taking like more than a second out of them a lap. Like, what am I gonna do here? This is terrible. Still waiting on Curtin and I think Butler to pit, but they're not gonna be anywhere near me either, unless they take damage. I couldn't have played this any differently. I just needed to drive better. I needed to do what I actually...
Someone tell Josiah that pits are mandatory. Oh no, he did take it. Not bad. Oh no, he's red. Josiah and Max did not take their pit.
Max is always the last one to pit.
You know what's really odd, Mike? I didn't even see the pop-up to tell me the pits are open.
I did.
Okay, so there's something wrong with my racer. That's why I couldn't see the traction control change either.
Butler in the pits. He's the one I'll be closest to, but oh my god, this could have been a thing. It really could have. I just needed to do what I was suggesting Tony to do. Take it calm, do good laps, but nothing pushing it. And I pushed too hard into Lake Home, and then ended up with a broken suspension. And I couldn't have hobbled around any further. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna be so disappointed, and it's entirely in me. Like this is summing up my my races lately, and I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. Well, actually, this really isn't summing up my races because I had pace today, and like at Red Bull Ring and at where were we before that? Shanghai, I had no pace, and here I had pace. I was on for a podium. I was on for a podium, and then this corner ruined it for me, and words elude me right now. I'm so very frustrated. This has become an exercise in just maintaining the tires and seeing if they'll get to the end, because I think everyone's pitted now, and yeah, I'm the one that's nowhere near anyone. Barker and Butler are fighting up ahead of me, and Saluko about 10 seconds ahead of them, and then, well, you could say Tony St. Clair is about as alone as me, but he's alone in the lead. I'm alone in last place. As Christoph Verstappen comes through. The effective race leader. Looks like he's actually got himself some breathing room from D and Caleb. And there's no real hope to catch up is this is the problem, because like my tires are the oldest of the GT4s, and I'm so disappointed. This is the worst kind. Like this is the worst kind when like there's no one to blame but yourself.
Just I died at the same spot
And there's no...
twice now.
And there's no like learning lesson that wasn't there already. Like I knew Lake Home was a potentially problematic zone. I knew that I needed to be careful there, and I wasn't. And now the rest of my life is rest of my race is going to be getting out of the way of blue flags and probably honestly watching Butler pull away towards the end. I mean, kept keeping with him right now, but that's because the tires are still okay. Just so problematic. And then we had the Paul Ricard race, which I didn't even upload the onboard of because I was so very angry. Sorry guys, I wanted to give you guys a good show today, and started out strong. Thought we were in for some good fighting. How was that an incident? You didn't invalidate the laps, that's not a track cut, don't give me that bullshit. Oh no! Fuck. Might as well pit. We gonna go with the tertiary strategy. We'll go with some new tires and do the repairs. So frustrating. Again, no one but myself to blame. It's all me. Probably fall down a lap to Tony Santa Clara before the end of this. At this point, my hope is like somebody screwed up their fuel calcs. If I don't put up some burning laps from this point onwards, like, I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. It felt like for a while there I was making a lot of progress as a driver. And now I'm completely out of it. I don't know, maybe it's... Is it as simple as, like, too much admin work? Because, like, I've been practicing. I've been not this week is the foot problem, but I've been practicing hard. I've been trying to do my best. I've been trying to take advice from people where possible. I've gone as far as to like assume that I know absolutely nothing and build from there. And I don't know. I don't know. the excitement to race is still there, so it's not like a get out of here, but it's like I'm desperate for a good result. Maybe Monza and Imola will do it. I don't know. We'll find out. Monza has been a happy hunter ground. Spa, admittedly, has been one of these ones where I feel like, even when I've like historically felt like I'm driving well, it's been a complete non-deliver. So maybe it's just that simple that like Spa is a place I don't have it. I have like a rough idea how to drive it. It's not like something like what's a good example? Like just a track that completely befuddles me, like I guess Bassano is a decent example, or like Zandvoort. Ironically, Zandvoort, home of where I got my best result because of like everyone else falling to carnage and me just picking up the pieces. Like the average lap time here today, 2:36, or well, 2:35.977. Terrible. Like it needed to be. I needed to be doing like some 2:33s at some point here, and maybe I will before the end of this. Maybe I'll get like. I mean, Butler is seemingly having some problems. I don't know. Maybe the top 5 is still on offer. But, like, do I believe I can take 50 seconds out of him in a little over a half hour? I don't know. Like, it's a monumental ask. As I mess up there in no name. And, of course, I also have the problem where my body is giving out on me a lot here. I don't even mean the foot. Like it's my back and my ass that are like unable to do stuff. And
doesn't he have damage? My God.
Martin is perplexed with something. It seems like. Even here with the relatively light fuel load and fresh tires, apparently I still can't charge. Apparently can't even like have the fun of like breaking out the 234, 233s. Yellow or blue flagged for Tony Santa Clara in a bit. Everyone's made their pit stop. I just took a glance at that through Eau Rouge because, you know, that's the kind of day this is. Absolutely retarded decisions. Should be the fastest GT4 on the track right now and still can't even do that. Bertrand Barrier out. We keep losing prototypes. I need GT4s out.
I'll go in, John.
Over.
Thank you, man.
No worries, Bob.
I am running similar pace to Tony Santa Clara, but again, on a third set of tires. Caught up to me there as I didn't have a good run through bus stop. 33.7 with 2 track cuts though. One of which really helped, the Blanchimont one. The other one not so much. I was one like serious accident away, and you never cheer for an accident, but it's in the back of my mind. Was one serious accident away from maybe being in for a win, and probably for sure a podium, because I was quite a ways ahead of Alex and Liam, who were the two with the pace to take me down, and it serves to reason I should have been able to hold off one of them. And it's turned into 6th place. I was going to say that could be Tony Santa Clara coming for me, but it is actually Luciano Echazo. I will give him the racing line. Into the franges.
Thank you, Liam.
Wayne Hutchison coming through, now up to 9th place. Thanks to Barrier and Machuca's DNFs, although he picked up a spot over someone else too. So he was in 12th. So whoever's in 10th place is... Oh, it was Chazo. Okay, never mind. So somebody else DC'd. He wasn't passed by anyone. Or he didn't pass anyone, I should say. So we've lost someone I'm not thinking of. Barrier, Machuca. Maybe it was Montoya. Was still running at the time. Pit window is closed. Not that matters. Everyone got their shit done. No pit stop infringement penalties to save me today. That mostly happens in ACC. There's the blue flag for Tony, but it's just at the edge of that range. Race leader Christoph Verstappen coming through. I personally would have gone around the other way, but okay. I was like intentionally not moving to take the line to let him have a clear run, but if you want to motor up inside me between the pit stop and the pit wall and me, that is not advisable, but you know, you do you. Santa Clara indeed. You'll come flying past here on the Camel. I've gone from a possible second place behind Tony Santa Clara to being lapped by Tony Santa Clara. Friggin' hell. Nothing going right now. This is a fine endorsement of, like, anyone who wants to be my partner for the 3D Speed season. I got Javier, who, if you're watching this video, Javier, I would not blame you if you totally rethink it. This is just, it's terrible. Go ahead. Got a flag. It looks like we've lost Kobayashi. Again, how could that be an incident if the lap isn't illegal? This is insane. You have violated track limits, but the lap is still legal. Meaning you didn't violate track limits, but here's an incident point anyways. What the hell? Honestly, if I was Tony, I'm kind of wondering if I really would have even tried to lap me. So, I mean, I am now technically behind him and keeping up with him. Which means if, and this is not threatening to do it, to be clear, but, you know, if I made a mistake and plowed into the back of him, like, you know, I'd get a massive penalty, obviously, but at the same time, with him being as far ahead of Liam Curtin as he is, some 50 seconds, it may have just been safer to just tug around behind me. May have thought he was just going to run away from me, of course. But he does know I pitted twice, so one would think he's aware that I am on the fresh tires. And I'm probably the second fastest GT4 on the track right now. Not by any, like, kick-ass margin, mind you, but it probably is the case. Oh, that is a very damaged car. Both for Josiah Jerome and Ariel Zatoni there. Or Zatoni may be repaired, actually. And the game just hasn't re-rendered his car. They'll often do that. But I don't believe that they would fix that kind of damage on Josiah's car in a pit stop.
Thank you.
My goal at this point is to use the last 8 laps or so just to bring my average lap time down below 2:35. Which that lap didn't help with it being a 2:36 flat. Mostly from some blue flag activity. Had a good lap going there, but of course the tire mechanics are garbage in this game. Touch the dirt and the you don't have tires anymore. That's the simplest way of putting it. Still be a reasonable lap if it wasn't for the fact that I should be putting up like fastest lap after fastest lap right now. Not like of the race, but of you know, my race at least. Not even faster than Butler right now, who was a guy that early in the race I had completely covered. I'm just out of it today. I'm on tilt. And there's not even UFC fights tonight to look forward to and a lot of money because last week I won 12 grand betting on the fights, and tonight I think I have like 3 bets for a total of $200 because there's just There's no good odds on there. Like the bets I threw down are like just like super long odds that shouldn't really be that long. Like plus 500 underdogs. That is just like, I mean, is this person gonna win? Probably not. But is this person a plus 500 underdog, or more appropriately, do I trust the person that you're at, like that you've given massive favorite odds? Not really. People should have learned after the Shanna Dobson fight against Maria Agapova at the last UFC card, which I did not bet on. But Dodson, who is a sub 500 overall fighter and a definitive losing record in the UFC against Agapova, who was undefeated. Or very close to, I can't remember, so I think she has one loss. But anyways, it was like a plus 800 plus underdog, and she won. So if you put money on that, you were having a good day. That wasn't how I got it done, but because I didn't believe that. Like I would have taken I probably should have taken a flyer on it.
You're right, James.
Oh, Butler is dropping way back.
Bored.
Sounds like he doesn't have a problem. He just made a mistake. If he makes another one, we might be on him, though. I am not making that mistake again. Another 2 seconds out of Butler. May yet be a showdown for 5th place, but I mean, 13 minutes, I gotta close this gap down at a ridiculous rate. I know his Porsche is not kind to its tires, so maybe they're just gone. And while he's not necessarily, like, pace dead, he's just prone to making mistakes. He's pulling away from me now. Still got pace. That's the thing, like, nothing beyond the first, like, I don't know, 10, 15 laps has really been anything to build on. It's not like, you know, I broke the suspension, came into the pits, got some fresh tires, and then whipped out some great laps to at least make things interesting. I didn't. And it's not like even the second pit stop saw me. Also, I really don't like this white BMW logo that people have. Like, it's been enough that, like, I can see the pace is there. Like, for example, just did a personal best, class best first sector on that lap, which was illegal, but the first sector itself wasn't. So, you know, I can see that there's pace, but there's no consistent pace. Another mistake from Butler. Also catching John Barker for what it's worth, but He's still over a minute up the road. That would be Butler, I would imagine, who's gone off. Well, there he is, the yellow Porsche. Might be something. Apparently about 5 laps left. Based on the estimation there. But there's what I mean. 1.2 seconds off that lap. There is no reason I should have been that slow. There's no reason I shouldn't be absolutely breaking out 233s constantly right now. The tires are still good. The fuel is nice and low. Another mistake by Butler, it looks like. Gives me 5th spot. Which, I mean, how do you feel about that? I don't... In no world did I deserve 5th. Like, like if things had gone right, I would have been ahead of this. And to be honest, didn't deserve to be here the way I drove. Barring catastrophe for the top 4, I will not be there. Credit to Luciano Achaza, who's had a rough day and has toughed it out. Looks like he's going to get himself a 9th. It's dead last, but still good points. Had to stretch my back there. Led to me going off. No consistency today. There was in the early going. Before I was on tilt, this was looking real promising, but well, you've seen what has happened. Still kind of close to Tony Santa Clara. Again, showing what could have been. Barker's up for looking for a podium there against Alexander Saluko. It's good for him. I am cheering for Alex in that fight because Barker is somewhat of a championship rival. Not really. Tires have just dropped below optimal. You wouldn't know it by looking at my lap times. So they have not had what they should have had. Alex Hayes is playing Microsoft Flight Simulator. Shout out to Howitzer, as he is known. Much more even wear on this set of tires, which is interesting. I don't think this game does differences in sets, so probably just a difference in driving. Oh, Luciano's gone. That is a shame. Go figure, tires are starting to go off, and I finally find a 233 when I should not be able to. Or, let's put it this way, much less should have been able to. Three laps to go. If I can do 3 more like that, at least I'll get my my average lap time goal. Get that down to the 234s. Except that this lap is already looking like it won't be like that one. Maybe it will. Catching up to the battle for third, but at this point it's just to see if I can get within a minute of it. It is a good thing this is Spa though, because at least I find every aspect of driving around Spa to be actually very challenging and a little bit thrilling. So there's at least a lot of interesting forestry scenery to go around. The various period-esque buildings like the one I just passed. There's like a go-kart track there too. It's somewhere along the back part of the track, which I'd be really interested to see what it looks like in real life. .34.1. Time around. Race leader Christoph Verstreppen coming past again. He is fairly far ahead, but Christoph is not one to ever really have patience with the blue flags. Cuts a lot in there. Jesus. I would not feel comfortable taking that line. What it feels, I don't know, it feels kind of exploitative. shout out to the Andrew D's coming up. Andrew D looked really good today. Had that BMW M6 hooked up. Good thing I fueled up for an extra lap. We are going to get one. Oh, never mind. That is the end. Needless to say, not very happy with that result. Happy with the first maybe 30 minutes of the race. Everything after the Lake Home accident. Bad. Had 2 major damaging accidents totally on my own. Can't blame anyone but myself. And also just couldn't put the pedal to the metal. Like there were moments in this race where I should have been putting down really good lap times, like 2:33s, or at the very least low 2:34s constantly. Didn't. Kind of came around finally towards the end there, but then it was way too late. Picked up 5th place because Butler destroyed his car, so that's nothing to do with my ability to perform, frankly. So yeah, it's not a good day. So gonna do what I can for my feet. And Monza's tomorrow. Hopefully can deliver something reasonable. We'll see.
Where are you, Alex? Sorry, Bob.
And I don't know. That's all I have to say. We're just waiting for the results to pop here so we can give the official rundown. Christoph Verstappen is the winner of GT3. Tony Santa Clara.
So close. So fucking close.
Verstappen.
Good job, Andrew D.
Verstappen D.
Yeah,
Gonzalez.
Man, got
Tough.
good pace.
Stop talking.
Crap.
Tough for an old man to do.
Jerome, Zatoni, Edmonds, Simmons, Hutchison finishing.
Josiah and his 0 kilogram of ballast was just
And,
flying through people.
Santa
Crashed it
Clara,
twice and still passed.
Curtin,
That's
Barker,
awesome,
myself, and Butler.
I
Seeing
think he got best lap time, didn't he?
the checker flag.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think so.
All right. See you at Monza.